Good afternoon. This is our Torah on Parshas Vayakhel and Parashat. They are the last two portions of the Sefer Shmos, which is the second of the five books of the Chumash, five books of Moses, and these are the fourth and fifth time in these parshas that the preparations for the Mishkan and the building of the Mishkan, the sanctuary in which Hashem is going to dwell with Bnei Israel, Jewish people in their midst. It is, so the question is, why does it have to be repeated 5 times? One of the answers is given that it is very precious to Hashem, because even though obviously he occupies the whole greater whole universe, he has a presence everywhere. He felt that dwelling on earth with his people was of the utmost importance and very precious to him. The 5 times it is discussed deals with the concept of it, the discussion of what materials need to be brought, then repeated with the bringing of the materials for the Mishkan and how it is to be built, and then it is how it is built, and finally its assembling by Moshe at the end of Vayakhel-Pekudei. Now, in addition, this is Parshas HaChodesh, means literally of the month. It is the 4th of the special Parshas before Pesach that are read on 4 Shabbats. The first 2 are dealing with Purim, Parshas Shkalim, and Parshas Zachor, which is remembering Amalek. The last 2 Parshas Parashat, as I explained in last week's the Torah, is dealing with the red heifer, and I explained its connection to the golden calf, and the cinder golden calf. And it's very interesting. Parshas Vayakhel, which is showing a connection to that Parsha, not just a golden calf, but more importantly, at the end of Parashat say the holiness, the special light projecting from Moshe Rabbeinu when he brings down the second set of tablets. And also, why does it start Vayakhel? That he assembles all the people, because maybe the people thought after that they couldn't assemble, they would be afraid seeing the holy light or his presence in general. However, it's saying, telling people it's fine, you should still assemble and before me. And this is where the actual instructions are to bring what is needed to the building of the Mishkan sanctuary. Now, the Parshas HaChodesh, which is going to have this specific significance, was it's talking about either the presence of Rosh Chodesh Nisan, which is the beginning of the year, Jewish calendar, or it's either on the Shabbat, and when it isn't, this is the day when we announce each month the coming of the new moon, which is the beginning of the Jewish month, and the building of the actual Mishkan and its occupancy by Hashem is on that first day of the second year. Now, I will be speaking in more detail about the whole concept of Shabbat HaChodesh and the Rosh Chodesh Nisan and the month of Nisan in a separate Torah. However, I will allude to it a bit towards the end of this parsha. Now, most of the parsha is taken up with the technical details of what needed and how for the Mishkan materials and how the gifts and how it was built. Now, first of all, there's a lot of things being connected. Beginning of parsha, it says, after saying they'll assemble everybody, then goes into discussion of 6 days of work, and not because we find out that what is prohibited, forms of labor work that are prohibited on Shabbat, with those that were the types of work that were done to build the Mishkan. It then says in the 5th verse of the Parsha, Kihu be'imechem trumas l'Hashem kol midav libo be'er el trumas Hashem zahav kesef precious. Translated, take for yourselves a portion of Hashem. Everyone whose heart motivates him as a gift for Hashem, silver, gold, silver, copper, turquoise. Copper. And then it goes on the next few to describe other things that are needed for the building of the Mishkan. Now, this concept was first mentioned about the preparation, the concept, because they were saying what will be done in the future. It's all in the future tense. V'leber el bnei Yisrael yiku et trumas mayas kol ish asher iganu libo tiko et trumas, which says, speak to the children of Israel and let them take from me a portion from every man whose heart motivates him. You should take my portion. By the way, the man's means man and woman here, not just man. Both contributed to the materials as well as the building certain things for the temple, Mishkan. And I would like to address briefly, on the surface, it sounds like we're talking about contributing things to Mishkan, charitable effort. However, there's reference in both places to that which you both here in Parshas Vayakhel, that who's going to give a portion for Shem? Everyone whose heart motivates him should bring it as a gift. Previously it says, let them take me a portion, for each man whose heart motivates him, you should take my portion. Now, so it sounds fairly practical. However, if one looks at it more deeply, there is a different issue a different thing going on here. When it said, why dimension to the heart? Why dimension that they desire? Because the trina to Hashem, the gift to Hashem, just isn't the material goods that Hashem is going to give, that the people are going to give to build a Mishkan. It's something far more deep. And that's on two levels. First of all, it needs to be done from a place of desire, of love of Hashem. And in fact, the following is based on the commentary of the Ramban and certain commentaries on the Ramban, commentary on the Chumash, by books of Moses. And he explains that what we offering on a deeper level. We are offering on a deeper level the our love of Hashem, our emotions, because in a very real sense, this is like a marriage between Hashem and the Jewish people. In other words, and in fact, it quotes from Shir HaShirim, talking about the relation between man and woman, and how they each love each other, desire each other, talking in an emotional sense here. And so what is happening is that Hashem and the Jewish people are doing this out of love for each other. That's another reason why it's mentioned 5 times in 5 different places, the whole building of the sanctuary, preparations for it. And on another level, so that is when we say connection with Hashem, that is the Shekhinah, the divine presence that occupied the Mishkan and which is present today. They say on 2 levels, both on our hearts and minds, each one of us, and in the Bate Knesset synagogues, the study halls. And that presence, Shekhinah, is still present to a certain extent at the Western Wall in Jerusalem. It's never left. And so the true gift that we're giving to Hashem is ourselves, our love of Him, our desire for Him, wanting to contribute to building His house. And on another level, it's our seichel, our wisdom we're offering, because we have to, in the building of it, has to be done with wisdom. Everybody who gave was doing it out of a wisdom of not only emotional love, but intelligence, chachma, wisdom, to give to Hashem. And that is the deeper meaning of when it says a truma or an offering. It's ourselves we're offering, our emotions, our intellect, all aspects of us, and Hashem returns that love that we give Him. Now, that was the goal, was the plan. At the end of the second Parashat, Vayakhel-Pekudei, the relationship and the establishment of Hashem's presence in His house is finally explained at the end of the Parashat Pekudei, and after it explains that Moshe completed the work, that everything into the Mishkan was completed. Kisei Ananat Ohel Moed, the cloud covered the tent of meeting, the sanctuary, in other words, and Kibbut Hashem Male et Mishkan, and the cloud of glory filled the temple, the Mishkan, tabernacle, if you like, and Lo Kal Moshe Labo El Moed, Kishikini Leha Anan Kabod Hashem Male et Mishkan, because Moshe entered the tent of meeting, for the cloud rested upon it, and the glory of Hashem filled the tabernacle. And when did this occur? This occurred on the first day of the second year, first month. So the last time that was to establish the months, HaChodesh, when we had to observe the HaChodesh, new moon, the beginning of the Rosh Chodesh literally means the beginning of the month, and because with recognition of Hashem, that our time is different, as I've spoken in previous the Torah, is everything, the most impersonal thing in time, is created by Hashem, controlled by Hashem. In fact, the concept within physics is that the time is the fourth dimension, so to speak, based on the physical dimensions. There's also a mention of time, and it's only fitting that what began with the first commandment to us, you observe the months, it's only fitting that the completion of the relationship should be on that same day, which indicates Hashem's centrality. And not only does it in centrality, it is a culmination also of the process of Matan Torah, giving of the Torah, and there are parallels after the Torah was given. The top of Mount Sinai was on fire, there was a cloud. On the seventh day, Hashem called on Moshe to come within the cloud. And we see the same thing here, the cloud fills Mishkan. Now the question is, if Moshe could enter on the mountain, Har Sinai, where there was the glory of Hashem, why couldn't he enter this time? And there is a significant difference between the two, and as is explained by the Torah Chaim, HaChodesh. Why couldn't he go in there? Because one reason that's given was in the case of going into the cloud on the seventh day after the Torah was given. That wasn't the case. God called to him. And it was only with that divine permission and strength that Hashem gave him that he was able to enter. Another explanation is that's different from Mishpatim, because when Moshe went up into Har Sinai, it said the glory of Hashem appeared like a consuming fire on the mountaintop. So Moshe went onto the mountain, but he did not go where the divine presence was on the mountaintop. He was in the mountain, up in the mountain, but not on the mountaintop, now where Hashem's glory was resting. And here it says the Malay Mishkan, the entire Mishkan was filled with the sanctuary with Hashem's presence, and that's why Moshe couldn't enter. Because even back on Sinai, he couldn't only enter the mountain, but not the exact place where Hashem's glory was. Now, as we, what should we take from this Parashat? Very special time of year. We're getting closer and closer to reuniting Hashem, which will happen on the Seder night. And as we prepare for that, both emotionally and spiritually, should we work on building our relationship and closeness to Hashem. Have a good Shabbos and Shabbat Shalom.